love this sequence. This was a sequence that I always went to when I was pregnant, and I taught it to my students as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Grab a cushion or some blankets. If you need a block or just a thick book to support you in the poses, that would be great. So see you soon. All right, so let's begin seated. You can cross your legs, or if that feels uncomfortable, just bring your legs nicely wide apart. You can flex your feet towards you and support your hips by elevating them a little bit. And let's just take a moment to arrive to our mat. And you can close your eyes if that feels good. Hands on your knees or wherever they feel comfortable, and just take a deep inhale through the nose. Expand your rib cage. Exhale through the mouth. Let's do a couple more like that. And you can bring your hands towards your ribs. Thumbs go to the back. The other four fingers come to the front. So you hug your ribs and inhale. And really feel how the ribs expand towards your fingers. All the way. The back body expands. And then exhale, knitting the ribs together, maybe pushing them down a little bit. Let it all go through the mouth. Inhaling. Expanding, filling the lungs with oxygen. And exhale. And let's do 3 more at your own pace. Just bringing your attention to your ribs, to your lungs, and feeling how the body expands and contracts with every inhale and exhale. Breathing is super important. Not only to breathe and to have oxygen coming into our blood, but to support our organs, our muscles, our pelvic floor, and our abs. It's so important. If there's one thing that you can learn before you have your baby, is to breathe through your rib cage and not through your belly. Really allow the rib cage to expand. Let's do a couple more breaths like this. Good, and release. And let's start doing some circles from our hips and just really feel into it. Maybe you want to integrate your chest. Opening it up and closing it, and then switch sides. And you can make the circles as big, as wide as you want. And try to keep the sits bones grounded as much as you can. Good. Inhale, open up the chest, your hands come to the knees, and really open up the collarbones. Feel uplifted here. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the chin under. Inhale, opening up. And exhaling, rounding. One more. Good. Inhale, bring your arms up. Lengthen the spine. Imagine someone's pulling a string from the crown of your head so you're nice and straight. Your shoulders are relaxed. And then exhale, bring your right hand to the ground and lengthen to the other side. You can allow the left hand to just go over your head, or you can support your head with the left hand. And maybe open up a little bit. So bring baby towards the ceiling. So you really open up the chest. And breathing. Inhale, come up, lengthen, and exhale, other side. Again, take the same variation that you did, and make sure you open up the chest. So really bring that belly towards the sky. Feel the lengthening of the side body. Good, and inhale, come up. And then exhale, bring your right hand behind you. Left hand can go on the knee or on the thigh, and just open up the chest. Notice that you're not twisting from the belly. It's really the upper body that you're opening. And you can look beyond your right shoulder. And breathe. And come back to center. Other side, bringing right hand on the left knee, looking back, opening up from the upper body. Looking beyond the shoulder and breathing. Good, coming back to center. Let's come into all fours. And go straight into child's pose. You can use always the cushion to support your knees or a blanket. Make it nice and comfy for you. So open your knees as wide as you feel is necessary to give space to your belly, and then release your forehead on the mat. If releasing the forehead on the mat is too much for you, you can just use your hands or a blanket or a cushion. And just try to relax your forehead as much as you can. And let's again focus on that 360-degree breath. So inhaling and really allowing the lungs to expand. Imagine you have wings. And exhale. Integrate your pelvic floor. Inhaling, relaxing the pelvic floor, letting it descend. And when you exhale, the pelvic floor should automatically come up, contract a little bit together with your belly. You can move your forehead from side to side. And set an intention here for your practice. What do you want to take away with you to the rest of your day or evening? Good. Coming back into all fours. Inhaling into cow, opening up the chest. Allow the pelvis to remain neutral. And then exhale, push the mat away, tuck the tailbone under, and the chin goes towards the chest, opening up the upper body, the shoulder blades. Inhaling and exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, looking forward, opening up the collarbone, exhale, rounding. Inhale. And exhale, and you're hugging baby towards your spine the whole time. Here you have options. You can release your right leg back, tucking the toes under, and stay here. And make sure that your core is nicely engaged. So you're hugging baby towards your spine. You don't want to let them drop. If you're feeling like this is already enough and you're feeling it a lot on your core, then just stay here. Otherwise, take your left hand forward and feel the balance here. Try not to put so much weight on the right hand. Use your core. Your core, like they say in Pilates, is your powerhouse, and it really is. To try to bring most of your strength from that midline of your body. Next option, you can lift the right leg up. And remember, listen to your body and try to go only up to 70% of what you would normally do. I know it's hard to slow down, and there are chances to actually pick up the stamina, but for now, just try to stay within a little bit below your limits. Good. And release. Let's do the other side. So you can take it step by step or go straight to the variation that is working for you today. Try to keep the hips leveled. And breathe. Remember to breathe, engaging the core. And you can also pull the pelvic floor towards your belly. And that should also bring you a little bit more stability. Lengthening. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're pushing your foot, your left foot against the wall, and someone's pulling your arm. So you're really lengthening from toes to fingers. Good. Release. And let's come into puppy dog pose. So you just bring your hands a little bit forward and start allowing the chest to come towards the mat. Option to bring the forehead on the ground, or you can just stay here. I find bringing the forehead to the mat is actually more comfortable. And try to keep the hips aligned with your knees, so the hips go on top of the knees. And just breathe here, feeling the opening of the chest. Let's take a deep inhale together, and we're gonna hum out. And this will just release our jaw, which is connected to our pelvic floor, and it just allows us to relax. Our nervous system relaxes, and also all of our muscles. So let's try that. Inhale and exhale, humming. One more time, inhale. If this is getting too uncomfortable, you can release and come into a modified Sphinx pose, leaving your, allowing your chest to come beyond your shoulders. You can stay here, trying to keep the pelvis, as aligned as possible, so not overarching. And you can do the humming here too, so let's try that together. Inhale. You can move around while you do this. God, you can use this during labor. It's really good to just shift your attention. Come into downward facing dog. If downward facing dog is too much, you can stay on all fours, but give it a try. See how that feels. Just stretching your back body, bending one knee and then the other. Exhaling through the mouth. Good. Bring your knees back down, and let's extend the right leg back, and then bring the left foot pivoted towards the back. So you come into a supported side plank. So inhaling, bringing your right arm up, opening up the chest, and try to bring baby again towards the spine and tuck your tailbone under. And stay here, breathing. You can bring your arm overhead, aligned to your ear. Feel a nice extra stretch here. You can also support your head with your hand. Good. And then using your core, taking it easy, come up, allowing the right leg to lengthen, and your feet, the toes, are facing towards the right side of the mat. And then start allowing your right hand to come towards the leg, a little bit lower, and lengthen your left arm up and over. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. You can look towards the ceiling. Good. And let's switch sides. Coming to the side plank on the other side. So you're gonna see my back now. Lifting that left arm up. And staying here, trying to keep that baby hugged towards your spine, opening up the chest. So bring your shoulder blades towards one another. And breathe here, lift your hips. And if you like, bringing the arm overhead towards your ear, opening up, feeling like someone's pulling you from head to toe. Good, and then take it easy, start lifting up. So we come into, I'm gonna actually turn around so you see me. So the left leg is extended and you allow your left hand to just slide down, and at the same time we're bringing the right arm overhead, opening up and breathing. Good. Inhaling, coming back up, hands on your hips, and we're gonna use our right leg to engage our core, tuck the left toes under, and then lift up into a kind of high lunge. Step your left foot forward, and let's come to the front of our mats. Inhaling, your arms up, and then exhaling, folding. Inhaling into a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and then exhaling and hinging from the hips. Make sure you allow your knees to bend as much as you like, as much as it feels good. Inhale, come up, and try digging the heels into the ground and activating your glutes to come up. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, come down. Hinging again from the hips. So your back is really straight. Knees can go bend. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands on the shins or on the thighs. Open up the chest. And then activate those heels, those glutes, and lift up. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, come all the way down. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it. Activate those heels. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Bring your right leg back. It's parallel to the short edge of the mat, the outside edge of your right foot. Bend the left knee so you're nice and open for a warrior two. And bringing your arms parallel to the ground. Flip your palms up and notice how your shoulders just open automatically. You can flip them back down or just leave them here. It feels good on your chest, on your shoulders. And bend the knee. Make sure that the knee doesn't go far too wide beyond your heel. So try to keep it aligned to your heel, your ankle, or a little bit behind, before the heel, so that you support your knee. And just breathe here. Inhale, come into reverse warrior, allowing the left arm to flip over your head. And then exhale, come into side angle, bringing elbow to thigh, opening up with the right arm over. And then back into warrior two. Lengthen the front leg and start shifting forward into a triangle. So allow your hips to stay nice and grounded. You're drawing energy from the feet up. Engage your pelvic floor. Your core is engaged. And then bring your hand to your thigh, or to place it just slightly supported against the leg, and open up. Really keep that core engaged. This is a great posture to open up the body and at the same time strengthen it. One more breath here. Bend the knee, and using your core, come back up. Let's switch sides. Bending the knee. Coming into your warrior, flip your palms up. And breathe. So we're building stamina, even I'm feeling it right now. And it just allows us to remember that we need the strength to birth and to carry our babies after they're born. You really need to build strength. So yes, suppleness and relaxation is good, but then having these moments to build stamina are super important. Good. And reverse your warrior. Staying here for a breath. And then exhale into side angle. Allowing your elbow to come into your thigh, not collapsing. It's really a slight support. And you're lengthening from your left fingertips all the way to the ground. And breathing. Coming back into warrior two. Lengthening the front leg and sliding your upper body towards the front, towards your right foot, and then dropping the arm down, lifting the left arm up. And breathe, engaging that core, lifting that belly. You got this. You got this, you're strong. One more breath here. And smile. Notice, what are you thinking? Oh my God, this is hard. I hate it. Yeah, that's how contractions feel like too. So just practicing a little bit of awareness and how we approach pain or discomfort is very helpful. Not only for birth, but beyond. Just when things get overwhelming and uncomfortable, how do we react to that? Do we react or do we allow a pause? Good. Bending the knee, coming back into warrior two, bringing your hands on your hips and bringing the feet together. And let's just take a moment here to pause. One hand on your heart, one hand on baby. And just notice how you're feeling. Just take a pause here. Notice, is your heart racing? Allow your attention to come towards baby. Maybe it's moving. And just remember your intention. Good. And we're coming to my favorite part of this class. It's just moving intuitively. And this is also called active meditation, and we're just gonna move our hips. Nobody's watching you. Just move them around. You can do little aids. So hip and pelvic movement is so important. It supports your baby's position, right positioning for birth, and just allows all the muscles, the bones, the joints to just get nice and juicy to support your changing body. Bring your arms up and just start doing circles with your hands. Your hands are in fists, so allow your thumb to wrap the fingers, and we're gonna do this for about minutes. I'm not gonna tell you how many, and I know it might feel uncomfortable to stay in this posture. You can feel free to move around. This is a great posture to practice when you are before active labor and you're just dealing with the initial contractions, and you just want to get moving and shift your attention from the pain or the discomfort. This is a great way to do it, and you can use other tools such as breathing and humming or making sounds to allow the discomfort to just release. So you can sigh out You can do horse lips, which is great to release the jaw and the pelvic floor. And just allows you to feel relaxed. Just go with your body. I'm gonna be quiet now. You got this. I'll let you know when it's time. Do not allow your arms to drop. I know you might feel the need to, but stay strong. You got this. And keep moving those arms. Keep moving around. Nobody's watching you. And if someone was watching you, who cares? You're doing this for yourself, for your baby. Good. Start coming back to your mat. And release the hands. Shake them out. You can shake around all over your body if you like. And start coming back to center. Take a deep inhale. Let it out. Good. You did it. So grab a blanket, or if you have another mat, I'm going to take my other mat and just place it, or you can roll your mat that you currently have just to give yourself a little bit of a leverage. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. And then place your heels on top of it. So about this much of height you should have. And bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance, a little bit. And start coming down. Allow your tailbone to drop. So imagine that you have roots coming out of your pelvis, and you can bring your elbows in between your knees and inhale. And exhale. And just relax here. Bring your attention towards your pelvis, your pelvic floor, and just let it go. Let it relax. And no need to make anything tight. You are safe. You are supported. So you can let go. Let go of any tension. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels good for you. This position allows the birth canal to open up to 30%. It's such a good position to birth in, and to also get your baby into position when you're birthing. So it's a great posture to practice at any time. Just squatting like this, and allow your feet to be as aligned to your hips as possible. So the less they are facing towards the outside, the better. That aligns your pelvis. And this is why the heel support is so important. It just makes you feel more stable and safe, and supports what the goal of this posture is, which is to align the pelvis. So breathe here. You're going to stay here for a couple more seconds. And lift your crown towards the ceiling. Soft smile on your face. Good. If your eyes were closed, open them now and start to slowly lean forward with your hands as support. Release the mat and come to a seated position. actually come to a side lying position. So lie on your right side and then flip back. And we're just gonna stay here for a little bit before we move into our relaxation pose. Just bringing your whole spine to melt into the mat. The soles of your feet are on the mat, knees are bent. And inhale, fill the lungs. And on your exhale, you're gonna lift up into bridge. Allow your ribs to knit together, so try not to flare them out. So the tailbone is slightly tucked under, your ribs are in. And I know it's hard to see that with your belly, but just think of that intention. And use your heels to lift you up a little bit more. Engage the glutes. You can use your hands to support you. And breathe here for a moment. One more breath. Good. Release. Bring your knees towards your chest, or, well, actually to your armpits, because belly, hello. And sway from side to side. Do any movement that you want to do for your body, for yourself, before we move on into Shavasana. We're gonna flip to our left side. So I'm gonna actually turn around because otherwise I wouldn't be facing you. So we're gonna lie on our left side, and this is where all the cushions and props possible will help you just have a nicer, relaxing experience. So you can the main cushion, or the longest one, pillow, should go between your knees. You can use another pillow for your head. And make sure that your knees and your heels are supported of the right leg. And just breathe here. And just let go, start relaxing your forehead, your jaw. You can bring your right hand towards baby or place it underneath to support the belly. Just melt into the mat. Allow any thoughts that you're having to just pass by as if they were clouds. You acknowledge them, you see them, let them go. And just try to focus your attention towards your belly, your pelvic floor, relaxing. There's nothing left for you to do. You're safe to relax. Let go. Start wiggling your toes and your fingers. You can stay here as long as you like. Or you can start using your arms to prop you up into an easy seat. And take your time. And bring your hands on your thighs or on your belly, on your heart, wherever you feel called to connect. And notice how you're feeling. Acknowledge yourself for showing up today, for giving yourself time to move, to breathe, to connect, to prepare for your transition. And draw a subtle smile on your face. Bring your hands on your forehead, remembering to think good thoughts, positive thoughts. Bring your hands on your lips, remembering to say kind words to yourself and to others. And to your heart, remembering to act from a place of compassion and kindness towards yourself and towards others. I hope you enjoy this practice. Namaste.